Is this link working? This is our new attempt. Second attempt. I'll even write it down here. Episode 153. Take 2.
Oh boy.
Ugh. This takes me back to old days. Those even weren't good old days. Just old days of not being good at what we're doing. Hopefully you guys found the new link in the Facebook and in the thing, in the link. I tried. All right, I'll tell Andrew Murray, because maybe he can like rally the folks. Made a new link in the Facebook and on the previous event. Come find us.
We're lost.
This is like, yeah, come find us, Andrew. Save us from ourselves.
Find me in the future.
Yeah, something like that. This isn't as whimsical as a Miyazaki film, though. Okay, so we got Matthew Pachard in. Hooray, it works.
Oh, thanks for finding us.
Thanks for finding us, Matthew. Okay, so the reason the show crashed, I believe, is because we talked about a certain Christmas elf. We won't mention his name.
No,
because I think he is kind of a curse on network bandwidth, I find.
His nickname is the Scottish Elf.
The Scottish Elf. The Scottish Elf is a curse on the show, so we won't talk his name, but he may join us next week. For all I know, that may just like crash our whole computers, though.
Might put the whole network.
But for the old-time fans of Shanahanigans Live, if you're wondering why you may not remember this character, it's because episodes he's been in have mysteriously crashed.
It's really weird.
It is kind of creepy now that I think about it.
Yeah.
This correlation.
And I know that he's like in my portfolio upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried. I'm gonna back up everything before I get him out.
Okay, well, hopefully Andrew finds us, and you guys can go tell him. He's tech savvy, this guy. He can figure it out. Anyway, before things go horribly wrong again, how you doing, Katie?
I'm good. I'm busy.
Oh my God, great. What's he doing?
I'm doing my first drawing for myself in a couple months.
Okay.
I'm just inking some Silly Kingdom, but then like in half an hour I have to go upstairs and do some more boards.
Right.
So
I'm sorry, you didn't gain more time because of this crash. You actually lost time.
Yeah.
If you guys also have any questions, get them in now. Because if
we crash again, I don't think we're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna have to throw in the towel.
I gotta get to work.
Yeah. There's Andrew. Andrew found us. All right.
Hello.
This is like the Where's Carmen Sandiego of chat shows. We give you clues, and then we call you with like an a cappella song. It's like, where'd they go? Do that, boop, bop, boop, 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 boop. And then you have to like track us down with hints. It's like, well, last time they mentioned live show on another link, so I will look at their links. Yes. Andrew Murray says yay. If you guys have questions, I cannot instill enough that you got to ask them now. Speaking of which, also, do you know what our email is? It's like .shanahanigans.live. Gmail.
Oh, we got a dumb email. It's like shanahanigans.live.
I think so.
If you could spell Shanahanigans,
yeah,
then you're halfway there.
Well, like, all right, I want basically if you guys here's a little thing. The character we're talking about, if you want to ask us questions for said Scottish elf about like you want to ask your Christmas wish list or whatever, you can email it to us or post on our Facebook wall.
Don't mention his name.
Reference the Scottish elf or Dear C or whatever.
You're getting close.
And he will. You might answer your questions next week. So if you have any questions you want to throw our way, either send it to our Facebook somehow, or I would send you our email, but I'm afraid of leaving this page. So go to Shanahanigans Facebook page, and we'll leave all the information there on how to get.
I would recommend the Facebook over everything.
Yeah, it's the most stable system.
More social.
So we got Andrew Murray say, "Did you get your hair styled, Katie?"
Oh, you noticed? I just moved my bangs. I don't have bangs, but so what you do is if you have all long hair, you just kind of change the part, and I moved it over to the side a little bit, just for a little something different. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of holiday cheer for me. It's it's just little things. I need to leave the house more.
Excellent. Little things.
Little things.
We got Chelsea Buke. I think we went over this before, didn't we?
I think you got scolding last time.
Sure. The Chi-Bukes. The Sea-Bukes.
Rebukes.
Yes. Saying, yeah, I made it this week. Welcome. We're surprised we made it this week. This show was crashing just before everyone got here.
Could crash any minute.
Because we talked about a certain Christmas elf who we're calling the Scottish elf right now, because whenever you mention his true name, the live feed dies.
Always, every year.
Yeah, or the show gets erased. So we'll see if next week's episode gets erased. But as I say, go to the Facebook page after, Facebook/whatever, Shanahanigans, Shanahanigans, just like it's spelled. And we'll get you guys a way of how to write your Christmas wish list. And hopefully the elf will stop by maybe and tell you why you're not getting those items. So that'll be fun. Next week will be our holiday special. We got Matthew Pichard also asking Christmas plans, excited gifts. When you become our ages, we don't even have excitement for anything
weird.
anymore.
Like, I was talking about this the other day, and I was like, I think the last couple of years I've gotten less and less kind of excited.
I didn't know it was next week.
It feels like I was like, oh, it's next week. Oh,
yeah.
Hope I can get my work done in time. Like, it's just, you know, when you're in school, it's more exciting because it's like you get that whole 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like a break.
And you get a break, and it's nice and it's snowy. I just find it's almost more stressful. It's just like I got so much I gotta get done on top of my work.
Yeah.
For this jolly holiday.
Well, my lead up.
I like hearing the. I like when I go into a shop and they're playing Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah. Like my lead up has been pretty stress free because I've decided not to go Christmas shopping this year. So like there hasn't been that one day where I'm like, I gotta get something for Susie and something for Uncle Bill and something for Franklin and something for Hoobadoo and like all these people need things. I'm like, nope. I'm like, if I already happen to have something in my closet for you, then you're getting that. But no one else is getting anything.
We're doing Secret Santas though.
Yes.
So you owe it to the person you picked.
At least that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you get?
I'm not saying.
Okay, just checking. Someday it will work. We got Chris also saying, "Oh, hey."
Actually, that worked for me. I just straight up asked Jared. He told me, and I was like, I'm not telling.
Yeah. See, on the other hand, for Helen, it was easy because like she's asking leading questions, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know.
Well, you gotta get something for your partner too.
Yeah. It says, "Oh, hey, we got Chris saying, oh, hey, it works." Also, someone said you're leaving us forever, Katie. Is this true? Not that I recall.
Forever.
Did our sentence get cut off weirdly?
Forever, ever.
No, I don't think so. Katie's gonna like as long as people come out to this show, we'll keep doing it. But like, you know,
I mean, I live in this house, so
yeah. I'm not going to do this show solo. Like I've done solo shows before. And they are more produced and stuff, of course, and like we're not as improvised.
That said, it's gonna get harder in the new year just because I'm gonna be working in studio.
Okay, so we're gonna quit the live.
No.
We're basically gonna shut down this show, or figure out. It might be another day. We might have to switch to another day,
or it might have to be bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly, or we can like switch you out. Like let's say, kind of like the old Adam West Batman. If we had like this little Adam Murray on a motorcycle. Or Andrew Murray came by.
Andrew Murray?
Yeah. And on this little motorcycle going by. It's like, oh, it's an Andrew episode.
Awesome.
Like he comes here instead. Pretends to be you. That'd be great.
He can part his bangs to the side. And be like,
yeah, just like that. We got Chris was also saying Shaggy just pulls out a pair of old socks in the Christmas as a gift to his family. I'm actually going through a lot of my old socks now because a lot of my other socks have holes in them. And I'm being responsible.
I really need new socks. That's kind of all I want for Christmas. Is just nice socks.
Yeah. You want like animal socks from like Pacific Mall or something like that?
Animal socks? No, I just want like cotton, something breathable.
There's a sock shop on like Queen.
Yeah.
It's like all these wacky kinds of socks. And here's the thing: they have those toe socks, and all my life I'm like, oh, to have the toe socks, the tactile experience of gripping onto things. It's not designed for me though, because I have like warped feet. I got toes all over the damn place.
Yeah.
And they won't fit these like biased toe socks. They only have like one type of person in mind. Oh, all your toes make sense? Well, these are for you. What, freak? You want to wear these socks? No. Where's that toe going?
You're going to have to explain this because I think you're picturing some kind of
no.
Cthulhu.
Unless you join me at the beach, you'll never know what my toes look like.
Summer beach.
All my life I was different and I didn't know why. It was that damn shoe doctor. Pointing and screaming at me. Oh.
You're a very sensitive man.
Yeah, Christoph saying, or you could Skype call Katie like you used to. Yeah, but then she'd be like in an office, and you're like, okay, I can't really talk right now. But oh shit, my supervisor! Guys, no!
I'm fired. No.
Extra special episode. Okay, so Andrew's gonna clear up this misconception of Katie leaving the show, saying someone said, hope it's a good leaving show, but they hit the K too soon and took it as K leaving show. Yes. What? That makes even less sense now.
I'm going to announce my retirement.
We got Chelsea saying, Katie, for socks, check out sockdreams.com.
Oh. will. Thank you.
There you go. There you go.
This is a learning show for me as well.
Yeah, with guest appearances from John Lasseter. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, because Chris was going through all the old episodes. So like, you probably have a better knowledge.
We have more sketches and skits and things.
Yeah, you should have like been making notes for each episode so we could put stuff in the actual like keywords. Because I never remember what to put in our keywords. I'm like, I think we made fun of Harry Potter.
I can't go
probably mentioned Korra.
I can't really watch myself talk. I'm just like, frig.
It's like all these old gags we used to have, all these old like skits and shticks, and like more constant viewer feedback, and those people have long disappeared for some reason now. They're like, yeah, the old days. But that's why we're gonna make new memories. Yeah, we make new memories now with all you new viewers. You know, if you're new to this show, welcome.
Please don't leave us.
Andrew is asking, how busy are you, Katie?
I'm really busy.
That sounds convincing.
Yeah.
That's
really busy. But at the same time, I was able to watch 40 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood this weekend. So
yes.
Read that as you will.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so good.
See, we're kind of like, we missed the boat on Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know if we mentioned this last week. We just like, I remember like having the first few issues or something, but I didn't really get into it at the time because I'm like, oh, it's another one of these manga where there's two people and they gotta go from point A to point B and trying to find a thing, and there's powers and adventure. I'm like, I've been here. I want more raw and real stuff. I'm going to read the real stuff, like real.
Like real.
Yeah.
About the I was gonna say motorcycle basketball, but it's
not wheelchair basketball.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of in this phase where like I was already kind of done with all these like adventure stories.
Not really
and I want something else.
Story.
Yeah.
And it is an excellent adventure story and mystery and military stuff.
Well, like now that I'm in it, it's not so much a like adventure travel, like like you watch Pokemon stuff or like any of those series like the Slayers and stuff where it's like going from point A to B and go to little towns all the way and solve little problems. And this one, they keep returning to the same locations again because it's only it's
a bigger story.
Yeah,
I think when I first
there's only like 5 locations.
These characters are fun. I don't know if I'm in the mood for like just kind of random one-offs.
Yeah.
But like when it starts getting into the story, it's just such a good story.
And I thought
really interesting.
I don't know if like the series was supposed to be more like a going from point A to B series before, but now it became more of a hub series where you keep going out, coming back, something is worse now, going out to learn something, coming back, something is even worse.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more interesting in that format where it's like they keep kind of revisiting locations to discover other things versus like going to 50 different places.
Throwaway, which I like. Something you thought that was small in the beginning will come back and be important.
Yeah.
So it's just like really good.
There's a core world of characters.
And God, it's last winter, I kind of spent most of my free time just reading the mangas. Like I would come back from the library with a stack like this, but now we're collecting the 3-in-1s, so it's a little more manageable.
Yeah.
But I started watching Brotherhood because you're reading the manga, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to check that out again. And it's really good. It's so well animated. It's by Studio Bones, and it's like OVA quality, beautiful work.
I was trying to watch it on the Netflix, but the subtitles were like out of sync.
Yeah,
so I was just
I'm
like,
probably just gonna buy the DVDs.
Ooh. Support much?
Yes. Support, yes. And like and the mangaka Hiromi Arakawa, I think. Just so good, so funny. So many fun little side bits.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth checking out because like I am chewing through these like Viz triple editions or 3 books in one. And it takes like a good couple hours to get through like a couple of those. I'm just
it does. Well, it's funny because it's like I'm sitting, like I'm taking my break from work and I'm just watching the shows on the couch. I'm like, okay, that's enough for today. And then you run upstairs. You're like, this just happened. I'm like, oh, let's watch that episode.
Yeah, it's all syncing up.
Yeah.
We got Christos saying, you guys talked a lot about Korra. Also, I don't know if this is like in the past or recently. Also, you say that like I have free time. Also, you say this like I have free time. When you enter animation, you give your life to it. Well, I just mean like, if there's like some notes just to be like, oh, they said this, and then like I can use that for the keywords.
Yeah, there's no time for that.
Yeah, this show is. I don't even know who else beyond you is like going to go back to the archives and be like, what did they talk about a year ago? What nuggets of knowledge can they bestow upon me to help me?
Well, I mean that's why we record it. Right?
Oh, that's true.
Otherwise, why?
For other people to like, I guess
not to, but
yeah.
I think of it like. When I'm 80, I can come back and watch these and be like, oh, look at how upset we were about that Korra episode. How silly.
Well, speaking of which, like we watched the most recent episode.
Not to say that we're upset about that.
No, we're not. But like the most recent Korra was like jaw dropping. Was that Friday? That was Friday, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
There hasn't been another one since, right? Yeah. No, it was fantastic. At least I think that was the most recent one. I think it's Fridays, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys should be watching it if you haven't yet. Oh, why is David calling me? I'm doing a live show. Understand how this system works. No one calls me. We're not going to talk about too much today because we're going to keep this relatively short in case I gotta get back to work.
I have to leave in 20 minutes.
If you guys have questions that are worth 20 minutes, give it a go. I recently finished Red Dead Redemption. I talked about basically I started Red Dead Redemption way back when, and I hadn't actually played it since November 2010, and I was in the mood to like jump back into a game, and like an open world horsey run around game because I was doing Assassin's Creed 3 because I also hadn't beat that yet. I haven't actually opened that yet until like November. And I was kind of like, oh, I've done this now. I've collected everything and I feel good. But now I miss roaming around on horses. What else do I have? I'm like, oh yeah, Red Dead Redemption. I never beat that. And I finally put in the time. And there's only actually like a couple more missions that led to this ending that I didn't know took like the internet by storm. And people are like writing the same things like best ending ever, this and that. And I'm just like, now like I've been a little spoiled on like endings since then. So like it didn't shock me as much the things that happened. But like, man, I see what they're talking about. Well done. Yeah, there you go. So bravo to Red Dead Redemption and Team Rockstar from San Diego, who unfortunately were all like let go right when the game was released because that's the way the game industry works apparently. But if you haven't given it a shot yet, Red Dead Redemption it leads up nicely like that. And it was really interesting how they led up. I'm more actually intrigued by how they led up to the ending versus the actual ending itself. I don't want to spoil nothing, even though it's like 4 or 5 years old. But if you guys haven't played it yet, give it a shot. Now I get to move on to the DLC Undead Nightmare, which is just more zombies for some reason.
What?
So that's all good times.
Oh.
We got Crystal saying I'm teasing. But anyways, how are you guys feeling that Korra's ending? Oh gosh, next week's the last Korra?
Oh my god.
Oh wait, he says I mean this week. This week's the last Korra?
Gosh.
Oh gosh.
So soon.
That means like we have to replace that show with something.
Full Metal Alchemist.
We'll get right on top of that. We got Matthew Bachard saying, "Oh, hey to you guys to end up getting a table at TCAF."
We exhibited last year, so they're doing the every other year thing now. So they ask if you went last year, please don't apply this year because we want to give other people a chance. Yeah. I applied anyway because I was like, no, screw that, I want to go for it. So we're waitlisted right now. So if there's space, we'll go. If there's not, then we won't be exhibiting this year. But I mean, we love TCAF so much, so we'll be running around just seeing all our friends, of course.
Also, the other thing is it's like a local show, so it's kind of like weird if we don't apply to that. It's like that cuts down on our shows that we can do.
I think they might have seen our name and been like, nah, you just did it, so we're gonna put you over here.
But it's a shame because that is like the closest show to us is basically that one.
I know, and it's our best show.
Yeah. And I do want other people to do it too, of course.
I would really like to do it this year. I understand if we don't get in though.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
And it's such a good show. I always recommend it. It's amazing.
Yeah. I think that's the same question again. TCAF. We also have Chelsea saying, "Are you guys going to come back for VanCAF?"
We got accepted, so I'm like 90% sure. I just gotta double check my schedule because it's gonna be busy for me storyboard wise. But we would really like to come back.
Yeah, no, Vancouver's always fun.
Yeah,
it's always a good time.
We'll see you there. Hopefully, we'll be able to make it.
We didn't talk about like Interstellar or anything yet, did we?
I haven't watched it.
Oh shoot, you're right. Well, we're not going to talk about Interstellar.
I was talking about the ending and stuff, and I was like, I haven't seen it yet. Jerry was like, how would this happen? I'm like, oh yeah, that would have been good if I'd seen it.
I didn't know. I thought it made it sound like you both saw it for some reason. No. So you weren't stopping us. We're talking about Interstellar.
You know, like when Dad will come back from a movie and tell Mom the entire plot, and she's like, I'm not going to see it. So go for it.
Were you not going to see Interstellar? That's fine. Like you don't have to.
I'll probably see it. Probably.
Like I know like people are going like 8 bananas in pajamas, crazy monkey over it. They're like,
I don't like movies anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't like going to the theater. I like the experience of Netflix and pausing and going to get a snack and being in my house.
That's true. I guess.
I just found the last couple of movies I've been to have been fun, but
you wanted to pause them?
Yeah. Yeah, I had fun at Big Hero 6.
And we seem to be going to The Last Hobbit out of obligation.
Yeah, I don't even...
We were sitting there together being like, should we go see it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's like, trailers, I was just like,
should we just
because I remember
get it over
when
with?
The Rings came out, we went every...
Yeah, we were so excited.
Like,
every holiday.
Opening day, because I remember I have the stubs from the 17th of December.
Yeah.
you know, back 15 years ago, 10 years ago when those came out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't love the second Hobbit.
Yeah.
It was all right.
It
was all right. I mean, it was amazingly put together. Because I mean, you know, I don't want to ever say I don't like a movie because the effort that goes into it and the acting and the visuals and everything are amazing. But I just wasn't really into it. So I just don't know if I'm excited to sit there for 3 hours for the last one. I don't know. I feel bad.
We're supposed to enjoy it.
Should, yeah.
Like
I love the Lord of the Rings so much.
We got Andrew Murray saying, both of you, top 3 movies of 2014. Well, hold on there, Andrew Murray, because the last episode of the year, I'm coming up in 2 weeks.
We haven't seen The Hobbit yet, so
yeah. Well, who knows? But I'm thinking of doing a little something called let's see well, basically it's the Shanahanigans best of 2014 episode, where I think we're going to do awards and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Here's how it's going to work.
How's it going to work?
We're going to have we're going to have our categories or whatever and a couple things. Mm-hmm. And our reward will be you doing like a 1-minute drawing.
Oh, I can't promise I can do.
Do like a little face, like a happy face.
My rates are.
Okay, so we're not doing a reward show, but we're going to do a top of like the categories. And it's going to be like animated series. What's the other thing? Video game. Something else, comic. Probably like that. I don't know if we'll do movie though, actually, because I didn't really see too many movies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We might. Who knows? We got Chelsea saying, awesome regarding Vancouver. I think I can't wait to see you again. Maybe then I'll have a job in the industry. Maybe we could go out for dinner or just hang out. Because you guys are hella rad. And I love to get to know you folks better. Well, if you're going to that Stormcrow game place that we've been meaning to go to, because we went to the video game bar, or the VG bar, and in theory it was fun, but in theory it should have been funner because they're not. It's a video game themed bar, but they're not allowed to actually have video games you can play in there. Which, after seeing like the Mana Bar in Australia, you're just like, eh. But like this ties back to why Toronto doesn't have any proper barcades either. Whereas the States and Portland, where you got like ground control. I
love that place.
That's like you're double fisting beers while you're playing Frogger.
Like Mrs. Pac-Man and shots.
Yeah. Or even what's the place called? GameWorks, which I think is Sega owned. I'm not sure, but in like down in Seattle, where we were for it was right across the street from Emerald City. We didn't actually get there in time to play games or anything, but we had like last minute late night pizzas with Tony. But it's like a proper barcade, more kind of like Palladium in Mississauga, which is a giant arcade, which is now like a casino for kids. But it's like a barcade where you go to the bar, you grab a beer, then like all the game machines have like holsters for your beer nearby. And I'm like, this is madness. I've never seen anything like this in Toronto, and apparently in Vancouver you can't either. Chelsea's saying I've never been to Stormcrow, but I'd be down to check it out. We're also told by Molly that there's like a video game hairstylist out there.
Oh yeah.
Where you could be like, I want to look like Sephiroth. And you're like, yeah, right, snip, snip, snip. Hair. Yeah. So I think I'll bring me a picture of one of those hot Bijo guys from the new Final Fantasy and be like, I want to be that dude in the back of the car. And like, I'll look at things like in the trailer. I have no idea. Who knows? I don't know if my hair can do that. It's like you have to like spike up in the thing. Well, there's that guy from one of the Kingdom Hearts 5/5 over a quart of milk or whatever it's called, where it's like he has like a tall spiky here.
Saltwater ice cream.
Yeah, and then he has like the things here, and he's like, "Hey guys, Keyblades." I'm like, how does he do it? How does he keep that hair?
Maybe it's saltwater ice cream.
Maybe.
Yeah, we discovered it wasn't saltwater ice cream.
Well, no, it was sea salt ice cream.
Sea salt ice cream.
For some reason, it's burned into my memory that it's saltwater ice cream.
It's only that for me because I never played that game.
Yes.
You always say saltwater ice cream.
But that seems to make sense to me. But now everyone's like, it's sea salt ice cream. And we're like, Bolor. But then we go to the friggin' the comic shop, Anime Extreme, and we open up like the Kingdom Hearts sea salt ice cream edition, which every panel someone's eating a sea salt ice cream.
Like, are they just having that ice cream? I'm like, yeah.
We're like, flip. We're like, why is it? Everyone's having it. Oh, Ansem, a bad guy. Let's see what he's having sea salt ice cream. Everyone's having season ice cream. I'm like, is it integral to the plot? Is it part of like a computer code that it keeps people's brains and the memories? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought this was
Does
a
it?
Disney Square crossover, but apparently it's an ice cream commercial.
Apparently, it's a Fisherman's Friend crossover. This thing. I don't know what's going on.
Gross. Those are terrible.
I imagine that's what it tastes like.
Does anyone like those?
No. Only fishermen. I don't know.
And their friends.
So I hear. Yeah, so long story short, we'll tell you what our favorite stuff of the year is when we get to the end of the year, our New Year's special.
Well, Alchemist's gonna be on that list.
Well, because we're gonna have 2 categories per category. There's
What is Katie obsessed with right now?
no, there's called Late to the Game, which basically means we just got into it now. Though, you know, it's old, but we could still nominate it for our of 2014 awards.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's still good. Like, you know, this is my whole theory when it comes to video games. Like, everyone's in such a rush. Next gen, new graphics, blah, blah, blah. But if you, like, just right now bought a PS2, there is an unparalleled library of games you have yet to play. Be it hours of RPGs or action games. No, the graphics may not hold up or whatever nowadays, but, like, if you don't mind, if you like appreciate going back and you're like, I feel like just trying anything, I maintain, no matter what people say, every year is the best year for video games because it's an addition to the previous years. If you're like, oh man, 1996 was the year, man, friggin' N64 and stuff, nothing better. It's like, every hell know that guy is. But like, that year still exists. Even if like 98 isn't as good of a year for games, all those games still exist. So everything is just additive to this amazing stuff. You can always go back. As long as you still have your systems or backwards compatibility or virtual console, whatever it is, you can always go back. And they're all still there. You know, case in point, like just us playing like Ni no Kuni now.
So good.
You know, it's not old by any comparison by some other games, beautiful. But it's this beautiful PS3 RPG. Looks like you have the ability to skip around now, which is so spectacular.
Good. So good.
Which I compared to like Kingdom Hearts. You unlock the ability to fly in town, and we're like, we can skip now. Ni no Kuni's the best.
That's nothing.
Skipping. Yeah. So like, you know, you're always in a good year for games. Same with movies. Like the worst superhero movie can come out or whatever. You're like, I don't like they did a bad adaptation of this character. Well, there's still old movies that are still good. Like those old movies aren't erased. You know, if you're like there's nothing good on TV right now, go get some old episodes of something. You know, I maintain that like there should be 1 year, like every 7 years, where like all studios stop making things, so everyone can just catch up. It's like, oh, I haven't watched.
That's never gonna happen.
I haven't seen Lost yet, or I haven't watched this series yet. It's like everyone just stop making things.
You can still catch up on
and then like all the old DVDs will eventually sell because people don't have new stuff to be distracted with.
Oh, to get the
Yeah, you know, it's like all the old games will sell.
Something's good, like it'll always be, you know, like Fullmetal Alchemist. Like it's not like, oh, okay, this isn't as popular anymore. Let's stop selling the books. It's like the books are still there for when, you know, you're 5 minutes late to the game. You're like, oh, what is this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy everything.
Well, that's the thing. Like right now, Viz is doing a lot of repackaging. Like they're re-releasing the Ranma in the 2-book edition.
Yeah,
they keep re-releasing Dragon Ball. They'll never stop, of course, because you know it has to always be there. But it's like, yeah, it's a lot of the stuff that's like the cream that rose to the top is going to constantly keep coming back in these new like bound bundle editions. Or even in the weird cases of like old series being animated now, like Parasite, apparently. Like I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people are enjoying.
Live action movie coming out.
I guess there's that too.
It actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like
so
the Parasite alien things look pretty cool in CG.
Yeah, so I'm curious, like, and that's interesting because like that series kind of like you feel like, oh, it did its time. People liked it, people didn't, whatever. That's it. But like now it's like it's back.
It made me really nostalgic for those old Mix magazines.
Yeah, magazine.
Weird combo because you're like, it's Sailor Moon and Magical Knights, or no, Ray Earth. Yeah, Magical Knights.
No, it's Ray Earth.
And alien things that
Parasite, Ray Earth,
and eat your heads.
Harlem Beat came. When was Harlem Beat in the first one?
Because Parasite was pretty violent.
Harlem Beat, Parasite, Magical Knights, Ray Earth.
I guess that's why they came out with
Ice Blade. And then like they added like Those Who Hunt Elves, and then the magazine kind of got weird and fell apart because they started they're trying to make up more space for ad revenue, so they started shrinking all the comics, putting 2 pages horizontally on 1 page, and it's just like impossible to read or appreciate the art, and then it just like collapsed under its own weight. But then after Shonen Jump came out, and then Naruto was brought to the scene, everything changed. And then they had
the proper Shonen Jump and Shoujo Beat, which was like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And then Shoujo Beat unfortunately didn't last.
Yeah, they folded that one.
But it was really great while it lasted. Just getting those in the mail, getting your
Yeah.
big old hunk of magazine.
We were like, Nightblade
like,
Schooler.
what happens to Peach Girl? What's her face? Such a jerk. Oh, what was her name?
It was this.
Nane? I want to slap.
It was there was Nana also, and then there was that night school one with the vampire schools and stuff.
That was
all
popular.
That's
All
true.
the cosplay.
We got Andrew Murray asking, what will you be up to Christmas Eve? Any traditions? We tend to just lie around the fireplace.
Yeah.
Listen to the Carpenters.
And
or like Charlie Brown,
Charlie
Grinch.
Brown.
Maybe one rendition. I think we've stopped with the tradition of listening to A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, the Patrick Stewart reads.
It's great.
Because he's like, Burgon.
Yeah, every year we used to listen to Patrick Stewart read The Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
There was a version recently, I forgot who's like, it said who.
Neil Gaiman.
Well, it's like, it said like who read it, and it made me really interested. I'm like, him? Really? Who was it? It's like, if you guys know like a recent Audible version of A Christmas Carol, I forget who it is, but it was a really interesting choice.
Alan Tudyk. Oh!
I don't know. It was like, I don't know if it was like a comedian. It's not like Louis C.K. reads A Christmas Carol or something like that. But I don't know.
I love that.
Who knows? Maybe.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, as far as traditions, just kind of loafing around.
Yeah, our traditions are very easygoing.
Yeah.
We tend to just eat a ridiculous amount of food Christmas Day, and then we get up, we open the presents, we pass out in front of the fireplace. I think last Christmas I just read Emma, the manga series, just by the fire. It was amazing.
We'll blast through like just some old
just hang out
comics
with our immediate families.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, we don't really maybe go for a walk.
One of those like see all the lights and stuff.
What do you guys do? I know some people like to go see movies on Christmas, but I'm just like, no.
You guys have like 7 minutes to tell us what you like to do for your holidays. 7 minutes.
I just say no because I don't like leaving the house.
Let's see. There's not too much else to talk about just because this week wasn't terribly crazy. Me running around doing stuff. That being said, today I just released second last chapter of Shaggy Reads Twilight.
Oh, you're almost done.
What? After all these years, it's finally coming to an end. Thank you.
Find it and take it off the internet.
Yeah, that's what my thing is. It's like it's taking this long for the discovery. I'm like, good, keep it on the down low. Head over to uberfriendship.com and look up the Shaggy Reads section, or it's the most recent post too, if you ever want to find out. Over 10 hours of Twilight content I discovered.
You're gonna have to put some effort into something more.
I highlighted it all. Yeah, but it's not my fault. It is my fault. But the point was, this was for charity.
Yeah. This
wasn't for like my love of things.
But I mean, like, can you imagine if that was your own story that you did?
Yeah, but then I'd have to write it too.
Yeah.
There is that. I write for other mediums. I don't know, because I write like little radio plays just to be silly, but like I don't know if I'd write the full on thing. But if you guys want to listen to that brand new episode, it's really short too. It was only 5 pages. I'm like, yes. Oh, blessed be 5-page chapter. Love it. And I added a little treat at the end.
That's the attitude you want your reader to have in an audiobook. Oh, thank God. Only 5 pages.
That's like 10 minutes. Awesome. I even had like a little treat at the end for the person who requested the episode. Because she wanted more Charlie, and there was no Charlie in this chapter, so I fixed up a little something.
Nice.
So check that out. Go to Shaggy Reads Twilight, or SRT. I code name it so no one can actually find it. Go to Uber Friendship, UBER Friendship.
If you're a fan or a hater, you will enjoy his rendition of Twilight.
As I say, it's 10 hours of me. Imagine how long it takes to listen to that versus how long it took to make that. Because it's like multiple takes of like me fumbling words and drinking. Great stuff. Check it out. Got Chelsea saying, this Christmas, I'll be wasting away on World of Warcraft because before school comes back in season for me, my final semester, I'm really scared.
Nothing to be scared about. Just do your best and be...
Wait, what are you doing for school? What's your... Is it animation? If it's any of that stuff, basically in this last year, my recommendation is to make sure everyone in your year knows what you do. Because at some point down the line, someone's going to have a job and they're like, do you know someone who does a good tree drawing? And they're like, oh, frickin' Chelsea. She's the queen of trees. We got to, we call her Tree Queen Chelsea. We got to get in touch with her. Basically, so I'm not saying like, hand out leaflets, but it's like kind of just make sure people know what you're interested in. Because that's where the weirdest connections happen, where it's like, I need this guy to make this sound effect for a dog rolling around. It's like, this guy was so good at rolling dogs in front of microphones. what was his name again? Franklin the dog roller, we call him. Okay, yeah. I gotta call that guy up.
We got really original with our nicknames.
We weren't very creative in this animation school.
We were kind of burned out.
Dog roll Franklin, DRF, we called him. Nerf.
Nerf for short.
He was like the Foley dog artist. He just rolled dogs, pet dogs, shook dogs' hands.
I want to be that guy.
There's probably some. There's a guy who's a professional cheese puller for pizza commercials. There's probably a dog petter roller. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
I don't think it's real cheese though. It's like how all ice cream is like mashed potatoes.
I hate that.
I know, right? Because the photo. Think about it. The lights in that photo studio way too hot. Yeah. After one flash bulb, it's like the ice cream's gone. We got Jen Lee saying SRT, and I say yes. I say yes to the end. We're marching our way to Valhalla together. Only one more.
Come, my brothers and sisters.
Join. Well, the thing is, I'm trying to imagine how this book is going to end, because the problem with the first Twilight is the supposed antagonists only show up in like the last 4 chapters. They cause some shit, and then they just kind of leave, and they find Bella. And I'm just like, so what could possibly happen next? Like, they're not going to wrap this up unless it's like, I found him. Here's his head. You're like, oh!
I eviscerated him.
Thank you, Edward. Okay. How about that? So I imagine...
Like the cat that leaves the bird head.
We're just like...
Thank you.
It's like, it's this... The vampire's head is on the rug.
Thank you.
It's just rolling around.
Now let us date.
Yeah. You are dreamy. So I have no idea how it's going to end, honestly. It has to be continued. Like, this had to be planned as a sequels book, because otherwise it's going to end so quickly. Considering how much time was put into this lead up, it's just like, oh, there's those guys. Oh, they want to hunt you. They're being hunted. Okay, he's dead. Yes. Mad Child. Saying presents, church, food, and family get-togethers are my Christmas tradition. Here's my problem. I think presents should go after church, because I recall being like, Super Mario 3! Oh my god! This is like me as a little kid. Oh my! Super Mario 3! I'm gonna play right now! It's like, no, we gotta go to church. And then you're like sitting there for an hour, like...
I know, being a little kid. You're at church first, you're like...
He was like, what's this? The Mario! Because like, I think I was allowed to bring the box with me. So I'm like in the car, like, I can't wait to explore the land of this yellow box that for some reason says Mattel on it, and to this day I don't know why. What if they made the plastic? I was like, like, that's not a hymn. Hold down on the white blocks. Hold down on the white blocks.
Wow.
Going through the background. All of it's a stage show.
I don't know what you're.
Mario 2 was a dream, and Mario 3 was a stage show. That's why everything has like bolts in it and stuff. It's all fake. Yeah, weird. It's almost, if you think about it, it's basically kind of like a Nintendo Land. Everything's just fake. Yeah, it's pretty deep. Chris the host with the most is saying, hey Katie, how do you tend to draw characters? Do you tend to do like a loose gesture in the construction and get the details, or do you have a totally different process?
That's kind of, I think, how mostly.
If there was ever a nail, you hit it on the head, Chris.
Because I can't, like, you do it loose. And I don't want to. Yeah, it's like you just kind of figure out your gesture and build up from there. Put on the details last. I tend to do faces first because that's what I'm most interested in, and then I'll work the, like, if I have like, I'm thinking about this comic, it's like when I have a specific pose I need, I'll rough it out and then flesh that out and then make the face work and then put on the details, and then, yeah, I mean, usually it's just the stepping block by block process. Yeah, you got it.
Andrew Murray saying, on Christmas, Dad yells at us for leaving the wrapping in the Quality Street box. Quality Street, is that the
chocolates? Oh,
because you haven't opened the chocolate, or you open it then you left the wrapping in it. That's the thing. If anyone in your family is like a teacher or whatever, that's usually the primo Christmas time, because like I have friends who, like, you know, their wives and stuff are teachers or their teachers, and it's like they just get all these Starbucks cards. Because no one knows what to get teachers. It's either like alcoholic chocolates or Starbucks cards. And it's just like you will drink coffee free for like months if you're in the teaching profession.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. The kids just like, $20, $50.
Sweet.
Yeah, you collect. Now, granted, it's like I'm not saying like teaching's easy because like you're gonna need those coffees.
I cannot.
Oh man,
cannot teach.
that's just barely gonna take the edge off. We got Chelsea saying, "I'm in school for animation, haha, at Capilano University.
Excellent.
Over winter break, we should be getting mentors, and I hope to get one that works in layout. I love doing layouts. All right, this just in. Great. Chelsea Buchart loves layouts. The Bukes. Remember that. Layout.
That's excellent.
What's layout?
Layouts have backgrounds.
Everyone remember that. Because there's going to be this one animation where like, oh, we need a layout artist.
Oh, I didn't do this.
And they need to know your name. So let it be known. Maybe do pass out leaflets. I don't know. Just be like, I do layouts. And that's the thing, because basically, if you want to do something, you have to let people kind of know that's your interest. Because otherwise,
that's what your film, your portfolio is supposed to be tailored to. You do what you love to do, and then you're able to get that work. I mean, if you fill your portfolio with stuff you're not interested in, the best chance is you'll get jobs focused towards that, because that's what you're showing people. So you want to definitely show people what your strengths are and what you love to do the most. So for me, it was sequential work. So it was just, how can I showcase that I like to do comics and storyboards, and you got to showcase that.
Show what you want to do. Like, you want to always get that job, of course. Sometimes you just gotta take whatever job is there.
Yeah, sometimes you need to just kind of. But I mean, it's like, again, when I was working in animation, I really wanted to get into storyboarding, so it was just, hey, I really want to do boards, and then just letting I was doing comics on the side, but then people knew I wanted to get into it, so they were actively looking for, because people want to help you out. It's a nice small industry, and I find people are very generous.
Yeah, and that's like me now. Like, for the longest time, I've been doing motion graphics for like whatever, intro sequences, podcast, web things, advertising. But like, I've always wanted to edit narrative work, and that's why all my side stuff was always narrative for my sake. But my professional stuff was never narrative. But only now I'm like really pushing. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I really want to stop doing like motion graphics for motion graphics' sake. I want to do story editing of like video and content and animation and whatever. So so I'm shelling that more. Unfortunately, like my current portfolio is mostly like motion graphic-y stuff, because like editing's a tricky thing to show in a demo reel. It's like, to just say you're an editor, it's either you got to give them a whole scene to watch it, and the thing is, if you notice the editing, then it's almost like worse. Like, you shouldn't notice the editing. It should be like seamless. The fact that you don't notice it means it's working. Now, granted, there's some stuff where it's like, that was really cool edited, how that action scene, but like, I haven't filmed any action sequences. I'm not an action director and nothing like that. So I'm in kind of a weird spot. But that's why I'm trying to push more for, story editing for animated properties and things, and like doing it myself too. That's what I'm doing. Put the word out. Anyway, we'll be wrapping up shortly because we are past the hour on our side of the country. Chelsea also said earlier, I'm also hoping the whole mentor thing helps chill my nerves a bit.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely help out just being around someone who does the work professionally, because you'll see that it's like, okay, it's not so far removed from what you're doing now. Like, it seems like a big scary thing, like, working professionally, but it's like really just breaking down the tasks, what do you need to do in what amount of time, doing the best you can, communicating with your director, and and then once you get a couple jobs under your belt, you'll be like, this is not scary. So don't worry too much. It'll be good. Just do your best and be nice, be cool.
Andrew Murray says, I'm at a studio that's hiring layout artists, any level juniors mostly. Boom. There you go. Come over for your mentorship to Toronto. Toronto's the place to be. It doesn't have mountains, but it has a lot of heart. Okay. We got Chris the host saying, Katie, if my make-believe studio ever becomes reality, I'll hire you to be the storyboard artist.
Thank you.
I'll hire you all here.
That's very sweet. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm still trying to make my make-believe studio reality. I have a sound booth, the editing, and the live feed. So, we're getting there. All right, we're going to start wrapping up. Anything to shell out? Is there any, as I said before, new Shaggy reads Twilight, only one more to go. We're hoping to end this before the end of the year, so I don't have to bring this curse with me into the 2015. I want to start fresh and put all my efforts into something that is actually going to bring joy to the world.
Yeah.
Yes. That being said, there's that radio play, which I did record, but I want to recast one of the characters because I just did one just to fill in. I wanted someone else to do it because they're both like supposed to be kind of semi-normal voices, and like I can't do two similar normal voice characters. It's always like you can do over the top characters, make them all sound different, but when it's like supposed to sound normal, it's trickier. And I'm just not that guy to do that. So I have to find someone else. But keep you posted on that. Beyond that, any other projects I'm doing? Yeah, no, I think that was my big check mark for the week. I have the website, of course, shaggyshan.com. Stop by there. Tell me what you think. It's my first time actually building a portfolio website. I used Squarespace to do it because a friend's like, it's drag and drop and stretch and whatever. I'm like, good. I'm not the programmer. I do not know what I'm doing if I program. So this is what I do. My site's broken into like 3 pillars of interest. There's the writing for the comics, the motion graphics, and then the voice work. So like check all those out. Tell me what you think. I'm going to be revising a lot of stuff anyway because I need a new video reel and new voice reels. But yeah, just tell me if it makes sense. Yeah. Got Andrew Murray saying Shaggy go read 50 Shades of Grey. No. I'm done reading other people's stuff. Unless you're going to pay me to read your book or something like that. It's like the Andrew Murray story. Read not by Andrew Murray. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, I was bitter. And then I just go from there. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know what your story's like. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Anything you got to promote?
Not really. I'm just trying to finish up Silly Kingdom and my storyboards and not lose my brains before Christmas.
Yes. 'Tis the season to sit back and relax. Funny enough, I think I have work just around the holidays, but no other time. I may have a job coming up. We got Chelsea also saying, thanks so much for the show, guys. I hope you both have a wonderful Christmas. It's always a great pleasure. Well, be sure to stop by next week because we have one more show before the official holiday kicks off with a certain Scottish elf whose name we cannot mention or the show will crash instantly. He may show up. So go to right after the show. I'm going to post just our email, or you can post on the page. But
no, do the Facebook page.
On the Facebook page, basically. Well,
send us a Facebook message.
Is that easy?
You can send a message through Facebook.
Can you?
Yeah. People do it all the time. If you do the email, it just gets kind of too much effort.
Go to our Facebook page, Shanahanigans, SHAN.
AHAN.
It's spelled as it's written. My gosh. And send us a message or post on the wall or something like that. I'll do another more official thing about it. But write your letters to. Remember
the character we can't even tell.
The character we can't talk about. But if you remember who he is, he's the elf. Starts with a C. Are we allowed to say his name? Is this show almost over? Yeah, it's over. Okay. Write the letter, Dear Cleaver, Christmas elf. Tell him what you want for the holidays, and he might join us next week to tell you why you're not getting it. And it'll be fun and family and friends. And it'll be great. And that episode will probably get deleted for some reason, and we won't know why, but we will.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know, he's up to shenanigans, that one. But otherwise, enjoy the lead up. If you guys are on your break now, have a fun break. If you're going on holidays, take some snaps. Regret nothing. Enjoy. Andrew Ray says good night.
Good night, good night.
Cresto says, thanks for the show, guys.
Thanks for
it was great to know. Watch the recreational drawing times. Recreational. The recreational drawing. I'm not good at reading from a distance. Of course, our stuff is Katie Shy for the Twitters and the Tumblrs. Shaggy Shan for my Twitters and the Tumblrs. The book, of course, is Silly Kingdom. The new one is coming soon. More details. If you had pre-ordered, you were probably sent an email. If you didn't receive that email, then you need a better email because I don't know what's going on. We send it to everyone. This show is Shanahanigans Live, of course, every Tuesday. Usually at 8 o'clock. Sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's 1 hour because we just have Tyler Man showing up just now, just in time to finish broadcasting.
Sorry.
Sorry about the time. We've got stuff to do. But if you go back to watch this episode, it's broken in 2 parts because the first part fell apart. Thank you, Cleaver, who's out there somewhere. Oh, you wily Christmas elf. Join us next week for the holiday special. Otherwise, enjoy yourselves, your time off, and your snow, and whatever you do. And your Hanukkahs. We got some happy Hanukkah. Enjoy your Hanukkahs.
Enjoy everything.
Happy Hanukkah. Enjoy it all.
Happy holidays.
Have a good season. And we'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.